I had read that you had your own psychic experience.
I did.
What was that like, and how did that kind of influence your role on Quinn?
It was like probably the best 90 minutes of my life. Lee Winnell sent me to a psychic for their movie, because you know how Quinn in the film goes to see Elise, who's played by Lynn Shay, who's like the whole 3 films is the psychic. And it was an incredible experience. We had talked a lot about in the audition process how, you know, I lost my grandmother and I so badly wanted to talk to her, and I felt the same way about feeling like there are signs and, you know, feeling her around me when I need her most. And so he thought it'd be cool to send me to a psychic to kind of try to get the same experience. And whether it like helped in the film or not, it was an amazing time, but I really do feel like it kind of gave me the idea of, like, in the movie, I felt like I reacted in the scene exactly how I did when I was there.
What was it about Sean's character that truly drew you to this film and wanted to bring his character to life?
Well, the thing I liked about it is the similarity to other parts that I've played. I felt like we could sort of almost trick the audience into believing this to be a family drama, you know, and that was partially that was Lee's approach too, that we established this family. You see them really struggling with, you know, keeping just to get through the day, and you know, I've kind of played that part before, so the fun part then is to sort of trick myself, you know, or am I just gonna play the worried dad? But then I'm in Insidious Chapter 3 and it's crazy, so it had a good blowback for me. And I sort of fell into that setup too.
Because I had read that Lee actually would scare you guys on set.
Yeah.
Were there any moments that stuck out to you where it was either caught on camera for the big screen that he absolutely terrified you and got you guys?
He did that to me all the time. I don't know if he did it to you as much. I think it got to a point where it wasn't even for the film anymore. He just loved scaring me. He just got great reactions every time because I'm slightly jumpy when people like jump out at me. There were several times where he'd like use an air horn or something without telling me, or he'd like change the area when the demon comes in to get a different reaction. But it really keeps you on your toes because you have to stay in character the whole time, and you can't break and laugh or be like, oh, I see what you did there. Like, you have to stay in it. So I really liked that he did that, and that he would like hide people from me all day until they were shown in a scene. That way, like, got just a reaction out of it.
Even the way the set was built,
Yeah.
he had that in mind. There were closets where,
And
for
doors,
the
like, people were
filming,
everywhere.
you'd be able to remove the back wall just so you could get camera in
But
there.
then, like,
or-
everybody would be in a closet or...
Yeah, but by that same token, he could close it up. There's an elevator, there's dark corners. He kept the set really dimly lit. Even for the technicians, they were working in half in the dark. Half of them were wearing the head flashlights just to be able to see their equipment. So he really committed to making the whole atmosphere on the set pretty creepy, and it worked. You see it in the movie.
What type of advice would you give Quinn, who is a young girl trying to make it in the industry, or any young adult?
Well, to Quinn, I would say, I think it has more to do with, like, that's, like, definitely her dream, but she just wants to get away and, like, live on her own and make her life for herself, and that's a part of that. It's going to New York City and going to drama school. I think you see in the movie, Quinn's biggest battle isn't, like, not being talented, it's just herself, and she's getting in her own way a lot just from overthinking and overanalyzing, and she has so much responsibility with having to raise her, not fully raise her brother, you do that too, but, like, you know, really take up the family in being the only female figure. So I think in her case, it has a lot to do with her getting in the way of herself, and I think that's relatable to every teenage girl ever. I do it all the time. I audition all the time, and I think that's one of the biggest hurdles to get over is, like, tripping yourself, you know? And so I think that's probably what makes her relatable, is blowing an audition and really feeling the guilt out of that. But yeah, I think the biggest advice would probably just be to, like, let go, you know? Life isn't like, I feel like people take it so seriously, and it's not.
And I would tell her not to go look in that air vent.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think you're hearing up in there. Don't stand on the back of the bed
Don't
and
look
up
under
in
the
there.
bed,
Don't
Quinn.
look under the bed, Quinn, is what I would say.